So Nigerian president has been bragging on Facebook that he has transformed Nigeria into a hub of automobile industry. Yes! In case you've not heard, we now have Hyundai in Nigeria, we have Kia, we have Nissan, and of course, Innoson Motors. All of them produced in Nigeria. Isn't that wonderful? Of course, Nigerians have been hailing the president on Facebook. Kudos to Mr. President. This is the best president we've ever had. Right on 2015. We will vote for you as a good citizen. I said yes. Kudos to my oga at the top. You know, doing an excellent job. No, seriously, give honor to whom honor is due. Let me read the details of the good news to you guys. Wait a minute. These people are not manufacturing the cars in Nigeria. They are assembling the cars in Nigeria. No, there is a huge difference, my people. Don't cheat me with English. By coming to assemble the parts in Nigeria, they are actually creating job opportunities for their own people that are manufacturing the cars in their countries. So to them, Nigeria is just like a market to sell. This is not in the best interest of Nigerians now. And before you say Adeola, you never see any good thing in this administration. Please, let me ask you, why do you think that these so-called made in Nigeria cars are so expensive? Why are they so expensive? If they are producing them in Nigeria for Nigerians, they should be affordable for Nigerians, especially the common people. Doesn't that make sense? I told my friends in America, I said, we now have made in Nigeria cars. So I went on their website, you know, Hyundai for example. I thought maybe I can buy in Nigeria and import to America. They have nothing less than 2 million naira. I mean, they have cars worth 5 million, 10 million, 15 million, 20 million naira, however much you want to spend. Unless you buy this small thing. Yes, i10. The least version costs between 1.5 million and 1.9 million naira. In case you don't know, 1.5 million naira is more than $9,000. So how many common people can afford? In fact, forget about common people. How many of you that are watching me will spend $9,000 on a car like this? You know we like big cars now. We are Nigerians, you know. Everybody has to know that we just bought a new car, even if it's not brand new. But who will spend $9,000 on this thing when you can find a bigger and better looking Tokumbo used car? You find it on the internet and you import it to Nigeria when you can find it for less. Unfortunately, the federal government has now increased custom duties on import vehicles by 70%. 70%! Which means that they just blocked common people from accessing affordable cars. Not to talk about many people who have just lost their jobs. I'm talking about people that are selling Tokumbo cars. And if you want to be paying every month for brand new made in Nigeria cars, of course you can do that, except the least you will pay is 57,000 naira every month for the next 4 years. 57,000 naira every month when the monthly minimum wage is 18,000 naira. This is what I'm thinking. If you are not rich in Nigeria, you cannot afford these so-called made in Nigeria cars. Of course, those who have embezzled our money. People like this, our government officials, they have no problem with this made in Nigeria cars. I'm talking on behalf of the common people. If truly this government is trying to encourage locally made cars, as they've been telling us, if they're trying to create job in the automobile industry, let them tell these foreign companies, if you want to be making your cars in Nigeria, make the whole thing in Nigeria, including the engine. You know, I'm very proud of Innoson Cars. That's the one owned by a Nigerian. And they're doing an amazing job making very beautiful cars, SUVs and buses. You need to check out their video. It's on YouTube, Innoson Cars. They are doing a wonderful job. I'm sorry to burst your bubbles, but as much as I'm very proud of them, they also don't manufacture the parts.
Do you just assemble these vehicles or you manufacture the spare parts yourself? Or is it just assembling plants?
Yes, we say that we manufacture. We are vehicle manufacturing. We buy components from anywhere we see the quality we need, and then we order the component from that side. Any item, we don't buy the whole thing from one place. We buy from different companies. That's why we say we are manufacturing.
That's the owner of Innoson Motor, by the way. The fact that you don't buy everything in one place, you still buy them, it doesn't mean you make them. I'm not trying to discredit him at all. I'm very proud of what they're doing. But I'm trying to say that you cannot manufacture anything if you don't produce steel. Nigeria right now doesn't produce steel, but we have everything we need to produce steel. In fact, we've invested more than $7 billion in the construction of Ajaokuta Steel Company. It's the largest integrated steel company in all of West Africa. It was commissioned in 1979. Even though it's 95% completed, it has never worked. So it was abandoned years and years ago. If Ajaokuta is revived today, do you know how many Nigerians will have jobs? 140,000 Nigerians will get a job overnight. According to the Iron and Steel Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, no less than 140,000 will become employed. The place is like a town by itself. Billions of dollars have been buried in that place. And that is not the only steel company we have in Nigeria, by the way. That doesn't work. We have one in Delta State, we have one in Oshogbo, we have one in Jos, one in Katsina. So if we fix all these farms, at least more than 200,000 Nigerians will get a job. And that will solve some of the problems of unemployment in Nigeria. Do you know that we have a huge power plant built in Ajaokuta that can supply electricity for multiple states in Nigeria? Not one state, multiple states, several states. Constant electricity. It has already been built in Ajaokuta. And please don't get me started. That is just one company. Itakwe Iron Ore Company was established at the same time. It is capable of generating 72.9 billion naira annually as revenue for Nigeria, and that also has the capacity of employing thousands of graduates that have not been employed for years. They actually built a railway from Metakwe in Kogi State to Ajaokuta in Warri in order to transport these things. Yet they've abandoned these projects for years. If we revive them, not only would they produce jobs for our graduates, but the cars that would be produced in Nigeria would be affordable for Nigerians, because we won't have to import anything to come and assemble it in Nigeria. Instead, we are celebrating that foreigners are coming to market their cars in Nigeria to make huge money in Nigeria. You know, I saw what the special advisor to Mr. President wrote on Twitter, Dr. Ruben Abati. He tweeted that made in Nigeria cars, Nissan, affordable, ready to use and export. I said, correction, my Oga. How do you export what you did not make? How do you export what you did not manufacture? In case you're wondering why I'm not impressed by all this, it's because Nigeria used to be better than this. If you're a young person like I am, please ask your parents tonight. Ask them what it was like when they were growing up. Because, you know, we have a new generation of Nigerians now who have no idea how things used to be. So they are easily impressed with bogus projects like this. There was a time that Naira, the Nigerian currency, had more value than the American dollars. It was 1 naira to $2. At that time, primary school, secondary school education, they were all free. Students were even given school uniforms and free textbooks. University students got scholarships. It wasn't hard for them to go to school. They served them food in the cafeteria. They would even make their beds for them before they come back from class. Youth corpers at that time, they rode public transportation for free. Buses for free. Trains for free. They gave them reserved coach in the trains. By the time you graduate in any Nigerian school, you have a job waiting for you. In fact, the government will give you a car loan without interest. Oh, imagine that. So you can get a brand new car. Your company will be paying for the car every month with part of your salary. And it's not like ridiculous amounts that you won't be able to afford. Like an encouragement for you to work hard. Civil servants at that time, they earned enough to take care of their family and build their own house. There was nothing like 419 in Nigeria until recent decades. The roads were good. Nigeria was on the path of becoming a great nation. People actually respected Nigerians all over the world. In case you've not seen this video, this is Nigerian Prime Minister visiting the US.
July 25th, 1961. America is waiting for the arrival in Washington of the Prime Minister of the Federation of Nigeria, Alhaji Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa.
A special meaning of liberty, of freedom from outside control, and we are determined that the flame of freedom once alight shall not go out again in our continent.
You see what I mean? What happened happened between then and now? Indians were coming to Nigeria to work and make money and send it back home because our currency was so strong. South Korea was borrowing money from Nigeria. You know, the same way that we are now borrowing money from China. People used to borrow money from Nigeria then. And please, please, please don't say that it's only because of military intervention that is why we are where we are. No, that's part of it. But even that is not an excuse. There are many countries today that were developed by military dictators. Japan used to be worse than Nigeria. But when this man took over power, even though he was a dictator, do you know that he transformed Japan to become one of the strongest countries on earth? In fact, they went to war with the US. This was not a democratic government. They used to be very poor in Singapore. It was also transformed by a dictator. I saw some before and after pictures of Singapore recently. This was their national stadium in 1973. Take a look at how the thing looks like right now. This is how their bus stations looked then, you know? And these are some of their buses in 1985. Today, this is how their public buses look like in Singapore. It's not like we don't have nice places in Nigeria too. We do. But I'm saying that the level where we are right now is not where we should be, and we need to stop celebrating mediocre projects. You know that South Korea used to borrow money from Nigeria. Guess who turned things around for them? Another dictator. Now they are the manufacturers of Kia. They manufacture Kia car from scratch. They also manufacture Hyundai, Samsung phones, Samsung tablets. What do we have to show that we've made in Nigeria? I'm not advocating for dictatorship. No, not at all. I'm saying that we need to stop making the excuse that Nigeria is not progressing because there was a time that we had military dictators in power. At least we've had democracy now for 15 years. If you will do something tangible for your people, 4 years is more than enough to prove yourself. They can revive so many things, change so many things. Within 6 months, a good ruler will turn things around in Nigeria. So you can see why I'm not impressed by the president's Facebook status. Let him take care of the basic things first. How can you be producing cars with generator? You buy a brand new car, after like 6 months, you cannot differentiate between the brand new one and the Tokumbo. Why now? So fix the roads on which people would drive these cars and then revive our steel and iron ore companies. But you guys know that I don't know anything. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real.